Advertising has changed a whole lot in the past decade or so. The amount of Americans who still pay for cable has shot down by 20% in only 5 years, obviously being replaced predominantly by streaming services like Netflix and Disney+, which means ads playing between or during your average TV program are becoming a thing of the past. TV channels are allowed to have about 12 minutes of advertising per hour, which means that if a channel was marathoning every episode of Friends and you somehow watched all the way through without any breaks, you'd have watched 101 hours and 53 minutes of television, 81.5 hours for Friends, and a notch over 20 hours of advertisements. And now you can watch the entirety of the show all the way through, and the only ad you'll get is for Ichiban. Most of the advertising we see now is done via social media apps. In fact, apparently 92% of large companies have some kind of marketing presence on social media. Whether it's picture ads or full-on videos, sometimes ones that you're forced to watch, this is where advertising has very clearly and very firmly planted its foot down and refused to lose its grasp. And who runs social media? The lizard guy? Well, yeah. China? Yes. Okay, that's not what okay, you know, I'm not even gonna ask anymore. It's Gen Z. The answer is Gen Z. TikTok is a perfect example of this. This thing and Musical.ly before it were almost exclusive to Gen Z kids. And now TikTok is far and away the most rapidly expanding social platform out today. It's already eclipsed Snapchat and Twitter in terms of users, which are platforms that are 5 and 10 years its senior respectively. Now, this leads to a pretty simple conclusion for advertisers. We need to target these Gen Z kids. We need to speak their language. We gotta hop on their trends, and you see where this is going, right? As a 21-year-old man-child, I fall directly into this target demographic. I'm on the older side of Gen Z, but I'm undoubtedly in there. I'm a good few years away from what would be considered a millennial. And after seeing some of the truly horrendous attempts to try and appeal to me and the people a few years younger than me, I gotta say, man, the most important feedback I can give is stop. Dear God, just stop it. Stop. I hate it. 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 Why do you keep doing this? Exhibit A, trying to be a meme. When this Grubhub ad aired, it was one of the most talked about ads I'd seen in years, and that was in the worst possible way. Fun fact, this ad is sitting at roughly a 2-to-1 dislike to like ratio right now, and it has its comments turned off, so that's always a good sign. The big knock against the ad was just how desperately it was clearly trying to become a meme while simultaneously being a product of a soulless corporation. See, not only do people usually like to make memes out of organic material like movie scenes or televised events or YouTube videos, and would rather not have it forced on them like, hey, look, new memes here, guys, there's a new meme for you kids to see. But also, internet culture is something that's almost impossible to try and engineer yourself into because it's kind of built off the unexpected. The reason that one kid who submitted a dance to Fortnite got popular and a bunch of people have turned the dance into a goofy celebration is because the kid was so genuinely into it, and it kinda slapped in the most unorthodox way. No one is gonna want to do the Grubhub dance because it comes off with the same energy as that one teacher who was a total hard ass and everyone hated him, and then one day he just goes, hey guys, look what I learned, and starts, I don't know, like bussing it down. Actually, yeah, lad, that'd be pretty entertaining. I guess it's more like the super loud kid in your class that tries to do the same thing somebody else just did, but way more over the top, and everyone's just like, stop, dude, why are you doing that? This has nothing to do with you. With how important trends are to the internet and social media especially, I guess this type of marketing is inevitable, but I still think there's a good and bad way to do it. You can take the randomness of the internet or people's infatuation with like mean comments aimed at idiots and try to make your own thing with it. The Cinnamon Toast Crunch commercials, these are a bit old now, but they were just kind of bonkers and original, and they weren't trying to ride a wave or anything, and people loved them. I've even seen them in a few memes before. Wendy's started doing that whole rude corporate Twitter account thing where it roasted other fast food chains, and yeah, is it kind of cringy as well? Sure. But at first, people were actually a lot more on board with this idea. In fact, one of the biggest turning points that changed it from being kind of fun to kind of was when they went way too far with the idea and started making like diss tracks against Burger King and McDonald's and stuff. And lo and behold, diss tracks were a big thing at the time, so they were just kind of hopping on the trend. You can be really clever in how you present yourself, and you can have a chance to be accepted and adopted by internet culture, but the second you make it clear that you're desperately clawing for that attention, people dig into you ruthlessly. Eddie Burback has a great video on anti-smoking ads, and he gives an example of one organization that's trying to get people to stop smoking by making a TikTok dance and starting it with, "Ayo, no vape check. which is just horrendous in basically every possible way, and it actually transitions us into the next section. Exhibit B, speaking our language. What you need to know about Gen Z slang is that every word that's being used by us is hated on by 50% of the generation, and half of the remaining 50% uses it ironically. There's so many layers to this that even me, somebody who is in this demographic, I just can't keep up. Even people that we'd consider to be kinda cool, like J. Cole, when he says "I'm lit" on KOD, it just sends a bit of a chill down your spine. The love and appreciation for certain slang terms just tends to boomerang around. I've been saying bruh for a few years now, and at different points it could be seen as me having a misguided sense of how cool it is for a skinny brown kid to say bruh, or later on using it intentionally as a meme, and then maybe now accidentally falling back into using it unironically. I cannot express to you how much I hate terms like hubby or poggers, but I won't bat an eye to things that other people find obscenely annoying, like "that's cap." And sometimes it's even in the inflections that makes this stuff sound good or bad. Saying the whole sentence that I just said in such a non-casual way, like saying "that's cap" in a very matter-of-fact sense, I made some people's ears bleed, I can guarantee it. Gen Z slang is a massive ecosystem of everybody hating something, some people hating everything, and nothing being what it is. It's confusing and everyone has their own feelings towards it, but at least when we see somebody else using a term we might hate, you just think it's dumb and you move on. You know it's just some misguided soul that doesn't have your incredible sensibilities, and they're also probably around your age, so it's not that bad. But when a corporation does it, it exudes an absolutely repugnant odor that makes you want to vomit on the spot. The thought that a group that's made up entirely of 40 or 50 somethings were in a room trying to figure out how to talk like a 17-year-old while simultaneously selling whatever item they wanted to sell makes my skin crawl, and that brings us to the advertisement that has been my nightmare fuel for over a year.
I like big jeans, itty bitty jeans, jeans for boomers and the Gen Zs, feeling trendy y'all with the straight jeans, showing off those curves cause you the queen. Everyone go slate in your Old Navy jeans.
There's really just no hope for us, I get. We failed as a species. Elon, just stop looking to colonize Mars. Let's just let ourselves die. We don't deserve to keep going. I'm not kidding, I avoided making this video for weeks because I knew that when I made it, I need to watch and edit and listen to this goddamn ad over and over, and I don't want to do this video anymore. This random dink tier wannabe rapper hops on an Old Navy beat and starts doing a parody of Lizzo's Boys, all about jeans. Big jeans. Itty bitty jeans. Feeling trendy, y'all, with the straight jeans. Show him off those curves, cause you a queen. Listening to disembodied Old Navy voice telling me to go slay in my Old Navy jeans while alluding to Old Navy inspired TikToks and denim inspired memes was the moment I made the decision to never step foot in Old Navy again. This ad was so bad, so ridiculously horrible at trying to appeal to kids, and so insufferably all over the place that it basically sealed the fact that I, and by the looks of it, this entire comment section and probably thousands of other people who haven't publicly voiced this in a video or in writing, would never have anything to do with Old Navy ever again aside from absolutely bashing them for this horribly out of touch marketing campaign. Stop using Gen Z slang in advertisements. Not a single person in the world enjoys it. Finally, Exhibit C. Don't worry, we're one of you guys. You're gonna be seeing some ads in the background here that are a bit older and might not directly reference the ones that I'm talking about, and that's because I tried scrubbing the internet for hours on end trying to find very specific ads that I'm thinking of, and they just never showed up. I started losing my mind, so I gave up eventually, but I'm sure everyone watching this will either recognize the exact ads I'm talking about or will have seen ones that are pretty similar. I like calling these fake YouTuber ads. At some point along the way, advertisers were like, you know, sponsoring YouTubers and having them read out our ads is going really well. Younger audiences watch a lot of YouTube, they seem to like this format, we should make an ad that recreates the same thing but obviously separated from a single specific personality. And the end product is that an absolutely random person from Bumble nowhere shows up on our screen and starts talking to us about how a certain app changed their life or how they made $7 billion in 1 minute trading stocks. They set up these shots like YouTubers and they talk to the camera like YouTubers, but it's all staged and faked and not genuine at all. The ones most fresh in my mind are those stock trading ones. Like I said, I can't find these anywhere, so sorry for not being able to show you exactly what I'm talking about, but they would have random actors sitting down and telling us how easy it was to make money trading. And these ads would be like 10 minutes long. Thankfully you could skip them after 5 seconds, but they essentially just staged a full YouTube video acting like it was organic, but obviously it's not. Forced relatability is so easy to see through, and it's something that I really don't like when companies do. Stop pretending like you're my friend or a content creator giving his or her opinions on something when every word is curated by this company. Now you might say, well then normal YouTube sponsorship ads ads should fall into this category as well, right? Honestly, I would say not exactly. It comes down to the creator and the delivery of the ad. Do I trust this person to only tell me about stuff that they genuinely find interesting or that they personally use? And did the script give them the ability to add their own genuine opinions or voice lines rather than being strict in exactly what they had to say? And even still, I'd argue that a rigid script read by somebody who didn't do an ounce of research on the company still feels like it can get a small pass for this whole sort of forced relatability argument, because there's not really many other options in terms of how a YouTuber delivers their ad reads other than just talking into a microphone and showing footage. Conversely, these ads not only have other options, but they hammer in the fact that whoever this random dude on the screen is, they actually did this. Wow, how'd they make so much money? How was their experience with this app that you can use to spy on people's texting? Holy crap, they really enjoy it. It's just so blatant with its fakeness, and I'm surprised these types of ads haven't been totally banned for false advertising. And then you have the ads that try to relate to things that we're going through, like this one Sofia Vergara fragrance ad. Again, I couldn't find this one for some reason, so I'm playing a different ad of hers in the background, but she had a perfume ad earlier this year, and it was all about her talking about how much 2020 sucked, and how awesome things were now that we're about to enter 2021, so you should buy her product to celebrate. It was just really blatantly playing to the lowest common denominator and acting like the year we were gonna be in was gonna fix all of our problems, as if our calendars dictate time and not the other way around. It's just kind of nonsense being used to perpetuate faux relatability, and I guess this one isn't even a Gen Z focused thing, but it feels like ads have moved on from "has this ever happened to you," which is kind of an announcement that it's going to try and relate to the things that you've experienced in your life, to now just trying to exploit your closeness to personalities and world events in ways that mimic the content that we watch or the memes that we share. I guess my main takeaway is that internet culture and the interests of the younger generation are getting more random and harder to pin down by the day, and advertisers have been trying really hard to try and get a grasp on it to use it to their advantage, but all it does is make them seem out of touch, sleazy, cringy, and like they've managed to chemically design pain in visual and audio form. Every year, I feel like a larger chunk of advertisements that roll before videos or play on the sides of articles are actively making me hate whatever company is paying for and creating this hot garbage. And every year after this will undoubtedly continue falling further down that spiral. And with that cheery note, I think the only thing left to say is subscribe. If you're feeling lit, dab on that subscribe button. I promise you'll start doing this awesome dance. I subscribed to the channel and you won't believe what happened next.
Puppies started raining from the sky.
Make sure to
Subscribe.